The situation in Ukraine is not good. Russia has surrounded Kiev, and they're going to attack very soon. We don't know how this war will end, but we can say one thing with certainty. The end of this war will be negotiated. There will be a compromise between Ukraine and Russia. Both sides will give up something to end this bloodshed. This is the nature of any conflict. Conflicts don't end with one side getting everything it wants. They end when both sides are willing to accept some of what they want. Now, Pakistan and India also fought a war. It was back in 1947. Just like Ukraine and Russia, the war was not limited. The entire subcontinent was involved. In the end, both countries got some of what they wanted, except one part of the subcontinent that we now call Kashmir. That piece of land has been the reason for 5 wars between India and Pakistan. It is the reason for cross-border terrorism in Kashmir. It is the reason why India and Pakistan cannot think of each other without cursing. In simple words, it is the reason why India and Pakistan hate each other. But today, India and Pakistan have announced something big. They have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire along the line of control. Now, the line of control is basically an administrative boundary that cuts across Kashmir. It's a de facto border, so a ceasefire along the line of control is like a ceasefire at the border between India and Pakistan. Tonight, let me show you the joint statement that was released by the DGMOs of India and Pakistan. Listen to what it says. The DGMOs of India and Pakistan held their 28th meeting at the institutional level on March 2022 at Wagah, Pakistan side. The talks were held in a constructive atmosphere, and it was decided that there would be immediate cessation of hostilities along the line of control, Jammu and Kashmir Ladakh, and the western sector, from 0600 hours Pakistan time, that's 0630 hours Indian time, on March 2022. The two DGMOs reiterated that the ceasefire will include the military, paramilitary, and police forces under their respective commands. It will also cover all non-state actors. That's a very important point. Basically, Pakistan has promised that they will stop aiding terrorists in Kashmir, and this ceasefire will remain in force until it is further reviewed. So basically, India and Pakistan have agreed to stop fighting along the line of control. And this could be a big deal. After all, it's not every day that India and Pakistan make nice. Now, such ceasefires have happened in the past. India and Pakistan have fought 3 wars after 1947. Then came the Kargil War in 1999. Before that, there was a ceasefire between India and Pakistan, but it did not hold. In 2003, then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee visited Pakistan. A bus service was started between India and Pakistan as a goodwill gesture, but in 2004, the ceasefire collapsed. In 2008, talks were held in New Delhi. Another bus service was started. The idea was to link the people of India and Pakistan. But again, in 2014, the ceasefire collapsed. In 2016, the US tried to broker peace between India and Pakistan. That attempt also failed, and this was the longest-running ceasefire. It lasted for 4 years, but it ended in 2021. Since then, things have heated up again. Terror attacks have increased in Jammu and Kashmir. There have been repeated ceasefire violations along the line of control. So basically, we're talking about a neighbor who does not honor the boundary that separates us. You live with someone like that, and you learn to be suspicious. Every little action is seen as a provocation. Every little response is seen as an aggression. Living next to such a neighbor is stressful. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, because this is our national security story. This has been the story of our lives. A few months ago, we told you that India and Pakistan were holding talks to dehyphenate terror and trade. That's an ongoing process. Bilateral trade has increased in the last couple of years. People-to-people contact has also increased. More and more young people are traveling to each other's countries. Look at the numbers. Between 2014 and 2019, the number of Pakistani visas issued to Indians increased 6 times. More Indians visited Pakistan. Do you remember the Samjhauta Express train? Well, it was suspended in 2016 after the Uri attack, but last year, India and Pakistan agreed to restore it. The train had to be cancelled again during the pandemic, but people are hoping it will run again. And all of this is important because sometimes you don't see what's happening on the ground. Because of social media, because of political bias, because of 24/7 news, you only see the hatred. But if you look around, there is clear intent to move on both sides. Let's take Punjab for example. Just a few days back, Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann took oath in Punjab. He invited the people of Pakistan to attend the ceremony, and some of them did attend. They entered India on tourist visas. They attended the swearing-in ceremony, and they returned. No political agenda, no diplomatic posturing, just a simple invitation. Last month, India organized the Rath Yatra festival. It was a huge event with 5,000 attendees. Guess which country sent a delegation for it? Pakistan. And mind you, these are not government officials. These are members of the civil society from Pakistan. The question is, why do they come to India? Why did they attend the Rath Yatra? Why did they attend the swearing-in ceremony in Punjab? Simply because they want to live like normal people. For decades, politicians in India and Pakistan have kept whipping up hatred. Common people have suffered because of it. They want to put that behind them. And I'm not talking about ordinary citizens. Even the leadership in Pakistan wants to move on. You may remember Imran Khan's speech at the United Nations General Assembly. He talked about giving a message of peace to India. That's what he said, his exact words. I want to give a message to the Indian leadership. We must sit together and resolve our issues. His words. This is not some kind of emotional outburst by a rookie leader. This is the policy of the state. Last year, Pakistan's National Security Committee met. This is the highest decision-making body on national security matters. It was chaired by the Prime Minister himself, Imran Khan. All federal ministers, all the top officials were present. They discussed Pakistan's foreign policy goals. And guess what was on the top of their list? Improving ties with India. It was followed by Afghanistan, the second most important foreign policy goal for Pakistan, improving ties with India. Let me remind you that this is the same Pakistan which sent terrorists to Mumbai, the same Pakistan which created the Taliban, the same Pakistan which gave Osama bin Laden safe haven. Yet this is the same Pakistan which wants to improve relations with India. So the question is, what changed? What is driving this change? For starters, the changing political equations. Pakistan has found itself isolated in the neighborhood. China is becoming more assertive. The US is not reliable. So Pakistan needs India. India is a major player in Central Asia. With the help of Iran and the Gulf, India can counter China's influence in Pakistan. If India reaches out to the Gulf, then Pakistan will be left isolated. So they need India's help. Then you have the economic situation. Pakistan is broke. Their total external debt is $31 billion. They owe money to the World Bank, the Asia Development Bank, the Paris Club, China, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Basically, everyone who lent money to Pakistan is knocking on the door right now. They want their money back. The IMF has refused to give Pakistan another bailout package. So where will they get the money from? Well, maybe India. Since 2014, India's foreign exchange reserves have tripled. This year, India will be the fastest growing major economy in the world. We're talking about an 8.4% growth rate. There is no denying that India is the brighter prospect. So if Pakistan wants to grow, it will have to seek India's help. The question is, how will India respond? What should India do? Well, here's what we say. Don't link aid with human rights. Don't link trade with terror. India's policy has always been clear. Trade and terror cannot go hand in hand. But Pakistan's actions speak otherwise. They have linked terror with everything, with religion, with identity, with daily life. So if Pakistan wants to talk business, they will have to walk the talk. They will have to dismantle the terror infrastructure on their soil. As for humanitarian assistance, well, India has always responded to Pakistan's disasters. Floods, earthquakes, epidemics. India has sent help to Pakistan on all such occasions. In 2005, when a massive earthquake hit Pakistan, India sent troops for the rescue and relief operations. Some of those soldiers stayed back in the affected areas for months. Today, we have more than 1,000 troops in UN peacekeeping missions abroad. So India's record on humanitarian assistance is quite impressive. Having said that, there is no doubt that India has a strong moral argument against Pakistan. India's position is very clear. Cross-border terrorism will not be tolerated. Talks can only be held in a peaceful environment. And so far, Pakistan has not given up terrorism. They're calling it a tactic to draw global attention, a tactic to keep the India bogey alive. How long will it continue? Well, Pakistan's actions will determine that.